When the press acts in the interests of the press, they are acting as a class, and they have found if they all act in concert with a cascade of articles all on the same subject, all with the same data points, and all pushing the same message, they can control society like some kind of social aristocracy. And it's men like Trump and PewDiePie and anyone else who has the balls to stand up to them and fight back, who are now deemed the evil, tyrannical populists, even when all they are actually doing is dislodging these people from their illegitimately gained positions of power. I can even show you how the media achieved this power. I need to introduce you to a concept called the Overton window. The Overton window is a term coined by Joseph P. Overton, the former vice president of the McKinnock Center for Public Policy. The Overton window is the range of ideas that the public will accept in public discourse. These are the ideas that it is acceptable and politically correct for politicians and the media to say, and these are the ideas that they will allow to be said on their platform. I'll be speaking in general terms here, but it's rather hard to describe this concept without them. Here is a rough diagram of various different types of groups in society arrayed around the mainstream media, so I can demonstrate the mainstream media's relationship to them. This circle is the media's Overton window. This is the range of ideas that the media will find it acceptable to discuss. In a normal, healthy society, it should have some overlap with all of these groups, so members from these groups can be given a platform and given the opportunity to influence this society, to explain and air their grievances, so politicians and other people can hear them, and if other people in these groups are having the same problems, action can be taken to try and alleviate it, to prevent one group suffering unduly at the expense of others. This is the Overton window that our media is operating with, one that entertains a very limited range of ideas, and ones specifically beneficial to the sensibilities of the mainstream media, who are usually overwhelmingly progressive. People outside of this bubble do not get heard. If the people outside of this bubble have a problem, and they are not heard, no one can fix the problem. No one will even know that there is a problem, until it comes the time to vote. The reason the media's Overton window has shrunk to such a phenomenally narrow degree is because every time members of the groups on the outside of this bubble want an issue raised, the media simply ignores them and dismisses them with a label. You are a racist, you're a sexist, you're an Islamophobe, you are whatever. It doesn't matter what the method of dismissing them is, the point is that they are dismissed. This has gone on to the point where now there are more people on the outside of this bubble than on the inside, and they have raised up for themselves champions in the forms of Donald Trump and PewDiePie to solve their problems. And that's what these people are doing. Donald Trump is the president, and he must remain the president to solve the problems that these people are having, because these people find these problems intolerable because they are being oppressed. This must happen for the health of the society, and the people causing this are the gatekeepers in the mainstream media. And this is the reason that the mainstream media is so unpopular. They have the power to ruin lives, and they use it, which is what both Donald Trump and PewDiePie have said about their experiences with the media. And again, I quote them both: "This would be my life ruined if I did not have this platform from which to reply." In an indirect way, the mainstream media has been oppressing the people it's been leaving out of its narratives. It must be stopped. It must be prevented from acting like its own aristocratic class. They have to be prevented from doing this because they are damaging our societies. When Donald Trump says that the media are the enemy of the people, he's right. They are elitists. They are anti-populists. They are anti the people who they are oppressing. And they are like that to keep them under their thumb. This form of social tyranny must come to an end.
I also want to speak to you without the filter of the fake news. The dishonest media, which has published one false story after another, with no sources, even though they pretend they have them, they make them up in many cases. They just don't want to report the truth, and they've been calling us wrong now for 2 years. They don't get it, but they're starting to get it. I can tell you that.